Hi, this is Jill. Jill Speaks Wisdom, and I'm going to talk about some things that a lot of you may say, oh gosh, you have these preconceived notions that these people are wonderful because we were programmed that these people were wonderful. But we're at a time in 2025 where people are awakening to the truth of a lot of things. And I've had some experiences along with others that prove mostly everything I'm saying is true, because there's actual situations that have happened. Anyway, what I'm going to say is now about nurses. We all thought that we were raised to think, oh, they're so loving and kind, all the nurses. But oh no. Some of the nurses in many settings and in hospitals, they're toxic, they're mean, they're narcissistic, they're sociopathic. And what they love about the field, many of them, it's not that they love the people always. Yes, there is going to be those nurses. But what they love is the money. They love the control. They love the control, especially being in control over people in a very weak position. It makes them feel very powerful. I know people don't think of it like this, but it is about the control. Okay? I myself had a situation when in childbirth where was going through horrific pain, nonstop contractions, close together. And these supposed midwives were all sitting around, all three of them, and they were ignoring me. They didn't care I was in pain. And this went on for a very long time. And they were chit-chatting about their personal lives. I mean, no empathy, nothing. When I got out of there, I thought, oh my God, females must hate some females. It must be true. And some of these people are very hateful and very mean. Another time I had hit my head and I was bleeding and I had to get to the ER. And I said to the guys in the ambulance, I have to change my shirt. It was, I had blood and it was a white shirt and I changed it to black. And as soon as I walked into the ER, the nurse there in a very sick way said, good thing you changed your shirt because you won't see that blood all over quite as much. I mean, it was just a very sick kind of thing to say, very, very scary. So, and these are women. These aren't men, okay? So the other thing, when I was in the hospital one time, the nurse was trying to give me a shot in the middle of the night, and I knew that the shot was contraindicated for me, and it has major adverse events, because I do have a background in this healthcare field. So she said, you have to have it. I'm giving it to you. And I said, no, you can't. And I said, no. And then I yelled down the hall to get somebody to come because she was going to give it to me no matter what I said. So they'll hurt you and they don't care. And let me tell you, a lot of those nurses that are giving those shots, they actually hurt people. And those people sometimes don't even come out of the hospital because of those shots or because of adverse reactions, etc. So for a lot of these narcissistic ones, sociopathic ones, it's all about the control and the hate, not the empathy and the love. And also I've heard it in the field that I had worked in, these nurses want to get paid as much money as possible. And so it's a lot about the money and not about the patient. And they'll just come out and say it too, which is unbelievable. So many nurses are indeed narcs. And it's all about the control and hate. No love, no empathy. They're actually very scary. So, there's going to be people here that have only had good experience with nurses, and thank God for that, and those aren't the ones I'm talking about. But please leave a message if you know of anybody that dealt with a situation or knows nurses that aren't who they appear to be, whether in public or in private. So give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.